Okay, it is 11 a.m. on a Thursday, and I'm about to watch some K-drama in the park after I record this video. I love K-dramas, and I have finally found a way to watch them guilt-free while still building my business. The secret, productivity isn't about working harder. I think it's about creating the systems that allow you to do more of the things that you love. So if you're interested to see how I do it, keep watching this video. Okay, the first method is called Triple F, and that stands for focus, filler, and free. So instead of mixing a bunch of tasks and trying to fit everything in one day, separate it so that you have 3 different types of days. The first F that we'll talk about is focus days, and this is for deep, intentional work or really important tasks that is going to move the needle for you regarding anything that you're working on, whether that's something related to business or a project. So for me, I run an online coaching business, so my focus days very specific to talking with my clients, checking in with my clients, and doing things for my business that is really going to move the needle. The next day is filler days, and filler days is basically those annoying little small admin tasks or life tasks that need to get done but are not that urgent, or it could even be used as a planning day or days for meetings, and sort of like those secondary tasks that you got to do in life but are not that important. I personally use these days to do my laundry, to check my emails, to organize my diary and my week, to do my taxes, my finances, blah, blah, blah. And the final F is free days. So this is basically where you do absolutely no work at all. And I personally use these days to watch my K-dramas, chill out with the family, and honestly, maybe I just want to chill at home for the day, or maybe I want to go out for an adventure. I don't know, but that's what the free day is for. You can do basically whatever you want. You're someone that is currently working in a 9-to-5 job. I know this might be a little bit harder, but what you could do is when you get home from work, let's say it's a Monday, your time after work, so your 5 to 9, are you going to use that as a filler afternoon, a free afternoon, or a focus afternoon if you have another project that you're working on? So even if you can't schedule whole days that are free, filler, or focus, you could definitely time block your time after your 9-to-5 and figure out what it is that you want to focus on. Because if you're half trying to relax, half trying to do tasks, you're not actually going to be that efficient in what you're doing. And I have felt this myself. It's I sort of want to work, but I sort of want to relax, and I actually don't end up getting much done. You'll find that you're actually much more efficient and productive when you set yourself times to get tasks done and you give yourself boundaries for when to stop working. I think that most people burn out because they mix everything, but if you can learn to separate your mind and separate what you're doing, it definitely gets easier, especially if you are self-employed. It is so tough to find balance, but I found that this is something that has truly helped. Okay, so the next method is the 3 daily quests. So pretty much instead of a long to-do list, choose 3 main tasks for the day and just complete those. You want to make these 3 tasks the 3 biggest needle moving, high impact tasks that will get you closer to where you need to be. For example, for myself, I used to have the longest to-do list ever, and I felt burnt out because it was just a never-ending cycle, and I felt like I was never doing enough. And yes, while those tasks were good to complete, those were tasks that didn't really make the biggest contribution to my future self, my higher self, and what I wanted to do. So instead of I have a to-do list still, but I keep those little small annoying tasks for my filler days. But for your main days, just think to yourself, what are the 3 things that I could do today that is going to make the biggest change or the biggest impact? I used to have to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to get ready for my 5 a.m. client, and then midday it was I had a little bit of free time. Then I would have to go back to work in the afternoon, and everything was just and honestly a mess, and I felt so overwhelmed. So doing this, I guess, allowed me to finish up my work early, turn my brain off, be like, okay, today you did a good job, you can relax. Now, method 3 is a little bit more niche, but this is building something that frees me. Most people work in jobs that just trap them in this little box, and I think one of my biggest fears in life is not having the freedom to do the things that I'm passionate about. So I am self-employed, I'm building my business, and it's hard, but I think it's also really hard to stay in the same position and work for someone else when you could be earning and working from yourself. Now, obviously this isn't going to apply to everyone, and if you enjoy your 9 to 5, and you like having that structure and then just clocking off, and you love your job, then that is amazing. And I'm like, honestly, that's really great because it's so hard to be self-employed. But if you are someone who feels kind of trapped in their 9 to 5 and you feel like you have something to offer, or you want to just have more financial freedom and more freedom of time, then it is definitely worth, especially in this day and age and personal branding, to look at ways that you can turn your passion into something you can earn from. I'm an online coach, and I'm still working on, building systems and building a business that will allow me to take a step back when I need to, and will allow me to travel the world when I want to, and watch my K-dramas as well, because that is super duper important to me. And honestly, I feel like you could do the same too, whether that's like a product, coaching, a cohort, or maybe that's like monetizing your YouTube channel, which is something that I'm trying to do as well. I definitely feel like having your own business or even your own side hustle will make the process a lot easier in terms of freedom. So I'm curious to know, what is one thing that you would do if you had more free time? When I asked myself this question before, it was that I really just wanted to be able to sit down on the couch or in my bed with some food and watch K-dramas. Like, something so simple as that has literally changed my life, because the fact that I wasn't able to do that before made me sad, and I wanted to change. So what's something that you would do more if you had free time? Whether you are working a 9 to 5 or whether you are self-employed, I challenge you to implement or even just try the focus, filler, and free days, and let me know how you go. Or you can even just start with the 3 quests per day tasks and see if you feel any better doing that. For me on this channel, I share my treats, my training, my traveling and eating, and how I live my most abundant life. So if that's something that you are interested to see more of, then be sure to subscribe.